Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to add TFT display to our Circuit Playground Express. Let's get started. You'll need the following: TFT Gizmo for display, Circuit Playground. We are using Adafruit, but Bluefruit will also work. 12 M3 screws, Phillips screwdriver, and lastly the tweezers. Tweezers are optional. Before assembly, let's spend a couple of minutes understanding TFT Gizmo. TFT stands for Thin Film Transistor, a type of display technology to see crisp images. The size of the screen is 1.54 inch. In terms of pixels, it is 240 by 240 pixel IPS display. To receive images, it uses serial peripheral interface, shortly called as SPI. To accommodate that, it has 5 different pads. The first one is SCK. So if you see closely here, there is a label that shows the first one as this particular pad, which is SCK, stands for SPI clock in pin. So it's making sure like everything is synchronized. The second one is the MOSI, stands for microcontroller out serial in pin. It's going to be used for sending the data. Then third, we are going to have CS, which is a chip select pin, whether the SPI transaction, whether happening or not. So that's going to be controlled by here. Then whether the data or control command is going to coming or not. So that is carried out by DC. So data or command. So which one is coming? So that is handled by this particular pad. And finally, we have light pad on this end. So this is the backlight for our TFT Gizmo display. In addition to display, TFT Gizmo has audio pins and extra ports. So if we flip it, you can see the speaker connector, which is a 2.5 watt Class D audio amp that we can connect, and also it has some extra ports that's going to allow us, so these two, right, extra ports to connect to either servos, or like if you have some NeoPixel strips, you can connect it. With that, let's go ahead and start assembly. To begin the assembly, you can start by removing this amber colored capped on tape dots that is at the top of these pads. Now you can use the tweezer. If you don't have a tweezer, you can just use your fingernails and then try to push it a little bit up. Now these tape dots are used for electrical insulation purpose. Alright, so I got the first one. So we continue this and remove all the 12 capped on tape dots. I'll pause the video and then I will start again. Okay, I was able to take all the tape dots outside. Now the next step is to align your TFT Gizmo like this, and also your Circuit Playground like this, side by side. And we have to place it on top. The Circuit Playground should be placed on top of this TFT Gizmo. It does not have to be perfect at this time, just try to align as best as you can. Then start inserting these M3 screws. You don't have to tighten it up fully, but if you could, have it a little bit, yeah, just maybe 1 or 2 screw rotations should make sure the board is kept in place. So now I'm going to repeat this. Now that I have inserted all these screws loosely, now I am tightening it up. Okay, it's done. Do not tighten it up too much. You don't need to give brute force. Just rotate it. If you cannot rotate anymore, just stop it. Okay, we just want to get this to be connected, the TFT Gizmo and also the CircuitPlayground board. Now make sure like none of the screws are loosened. If it is loose, basically the connection to the TFT Gizmo may not work. So make it tight but not too tight. Okay, just enough to hold the board. Okay, that's the assembly. Now we are going to do the testing. For testing, just connect your data sync cable just like before, right, to your CircuitPlayground Adafruit board, and that's it. Now we are ready to upload the programs. Now you are seeing my computer screen. I have opened up 3 windows. The first one is the File Explorer or Finder. On the left, I have selected the CircuitPython, which connects to our CircuitPlayground Express with Python installed. On the right hand side, we have the lab files that we've been working on. And the second window is the Mu editor to edit our code. And the third one is the Firefox web browser. Visit the website Adafruit, TFT Gizmo, CircuitPython, displayio quick start. If you scroll down, this project example provides the libraries that is needed to display information on top of our TFT Gizmo. Make sure you have the latest version of Adafruit CircuitPython. Good thing about the project bundle, it's going to contain all the libraries. So let's go ahead and download that. I have created a folder lab, and inside that I am saving this file. Inside the lab folder, I have the examples that I downloaded from this website. If you are using Windows, you will be right clicking and you will have an option to unzip. Since I'm using Mac, I'm double tapping. That will unzip and it will give me a separate folder. Inside the folder, you have files specific for the version of the CircuitPython that you are using. We are going to use the latest version, version 8. So let's get inside the CircuitPython 8. To execute this example, we have to copy all these files into our CircuitPython. So let's go ahead and select these files and just drag and drop it. Since we already have some files, it's going to tell whether you want to replace it because it's going to overwrite. In my case, I don't want it, so I'm going to say replace all the files. But if you have any other files, first take a backup of it, then click replace or overwrite it. It's going to take a few seconds. All the files have been successfully copied. Now let's go to the CircuitPython and we can see all these files copied successfully. Let's go to the Mu editor and open this code.py. This is the example that's going to display the bitmap image, the rectangle, and also a hello world. Let's open the serial port and click save, and we get error right? So here it tells that the module is not there, display.io. Let's see what's there. Let's press enter to enter the REPL mode, and we can type help to see the version that we are using, right? So which is 8.254, and it also displayed here. This is good. And in order to list these modules, we can do help modules and then press enter. Here you can see these are the list of modules that is already installed, but there is no display.io, right? So we have digital IO and so on and so forth, but there is no display.io. So you can press Ctrl D to get outside of this REPL mode or console mode. And this will, once again load the code. Whenever you click the save, it's going to refresh the board and flashes the data. In our case, data is our program into the flash memory. So how to install the display.io? Even though we have the latest version, we have to install it separately. And if you follow these links here, it does not provide the exact library bundle. There is a lot of instructions also. So what you want to do is just search for this particular website, CircuitPython CircuitPlayground Express Display.io. Now this one is an 8.2.6. So let's go ahead and download that. Downloading inside my lab folder, save. Okay. Let's go ahead and install it. Now this is a CircuitPython. We cannot drag and drop to install it. It just copies it. So we have to get into the boot mode, right? So circuit boot, if we see that, then we are in the boot mode, then we can install it. So in order to change this into circuit boot, just double click or double press the reset button, and you can see the C play boot. So that means now we can install our CircuitPython. So this is something you must have already done in the first week of the class. So it's the same process. We are just repeating that. Alright, so now it's installed, and it has the latest version. So how can we confirm that? By this time you should see in your screen. So let me go ahead and show my TFT display Gizmo. As you can see, as soon as I finish the installation, the text appears on the TFT Gizmo, right? So that means you have completed the installation successfully, and the display.io library and everything is there. Let's go back to our code. Now we have our CircuitPython. Let's go back to our new editor. Okay, just prompt. We can open the serial port. We can press the Ctrl D and then press save to load the file back into your TFT Gizmo CircuitPlayground Express. And now what do we have? We have a different error, right? So this is the memory issue. The CircuitPlayground Express, the TFT Gizmo, they all rely upon how many bytes of information that you can send and transfer, right? Now especially these CircuitPython, the display.io, and on top of that we have installed a lot of libraries, so hence we do not have enough space. So now we have to try to see like how much space do we have before, after, or if you want to see the memory usage. So here we can see some of the tips now. Let's use another library called garbage collect to check how much memory is available. For that you have to include import gc for garbage library and the following instructions. We are declaring the garbage collect object and getting that information about how much memory is free, and then storing it inside a variable, and then we are printing that variable here in the print command. Memory allocation is definitely one of the top issues, especially when we are dealing with computation of autonomous cyber physical systems. That is one of the reasons I just wanted to show you how much memory is there. Here, in order to execute this, we need to comment rest of the lines of code. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, if you want to comment multiple lines, you can use the toggle command K or control plus K in Windows. Okay, so now we can see the bytes. Available memory is just above 15 megabytes, which is not that much when you wanted to do some image processing or like displaying the bitmap images. So what we are going to do rest is going to work only with the texts, and for that you have already worked with the temperature lab. So we are going to display the temperature in our TFT Gizmo. So let's go ahead and modify the program. Alright, so this is the program. We have all the necessary libraries. We are importing, we are creating the object TFT Gizmo, and we are making sure the displayio.Group is ready, and we are drawing the pixel information. What is the x-axis, y-axis, which location we want. If you remember, in the beginning I said we have 240 by 240 pixel. So based on that, we are telling in this particular location x, y, z, x and y axis, we want that display group. Now this grouping, it will be done automatically, so we don't have to modify that. Then the temperature sensor, setting up temperature sensor, you have already done in the previous lab, so I'm going to skip that. And then finally we are splashing our information with our new text. So this text is nothing but our text of temperature. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Once the program is successfully uploaded, you should be able to see this temperature displayed in the TFT Gizmo. If you have any issues, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you out. Thank you everyone. We'll see you in the next video.